Welcome to Living with an Invisible Learning Challenge, where we will discuss and discover the challenges and triumphs of those living with NLD, nonverbal learning disability, and other learning challenges such as autism, ADHD, dyslexia, dysgraphia, and any other invisible learning differences that one may live with. And I like to interview individuals as well who live with various learning challenges. So if you know anybody, please point me their way, or if you are that individual, I would love to interview you on various topics. So please let me know. And I welcome you to this podcast.
All right, good evening, or maybe good afternoon or good morning, depending on when you're listening to this. So, I wanted to talk about what the phrase don't take it personally means to me. Today's episode will be about the phrase don't take it personally and what it means to neurodivergents like me. I'll use ChatGPT and my own thoughts to contribute to this. This is from ChatGPT. At its core, don't take it personally suggests that someone's actions or words are not a reflection of you, but rather of their own issues or circumstances. For example, if a colleague snaps at you, it might be due to their own stress, not something you've done. So my thoughts on that, I would agree with that sometimes is true. Recently, I went through this with a friend of mine, and they said not to take it personally why they didn't want me to contact them anymore. And it was kind of hard for me not to take it personally. And I think that was because I was very close to that friend. And I was having challenges with not being friends with her anymore. And realized that if I kept her contact in my phone, it would just be a constant reminder for me of what she had said to me. So I deleted it, and I decided to do that because it was more for me than for her for anything. And we don't really talk anymore, her and I, but I would say, unfortunately that friendship ended, but at least I was able to get a different friendship um, from Bumble with friends and was able to have a best friend out of that. So, sometimes it means something different for different people. This is from neurodivergent perspectives. For neurodivergent individuals, interpreting this phrase can be challenging. Literal interpretation, many neurodivergent people process language literally. Phrases like don't take it personally can seem dismissive or confusing, especially when the words or actions did feel personal. Emotional sensitivity. Contrary to some misconceptions, individuals with autism or ADHD can be highly sensitive to criticism or negative interactions. As one autistic writer notes, we are incredibly sensitive, and such phrases can feel invalidating. Processing criticism, neurodivergent individuals might internalize criticism deeply, sometimes linking it to past experiences of exclusion or misunderstanding. I think I definitely resonate with those things. I tend to be sensitive emotionally, and I tend to have literal interpretations, but I try not to think too literally. And I also try to, when I process criticism, sometimes I would say sometimes it depends on the criticism, but sometimes I do process it deeply. I think it depends on who criticized me. Alternative approaches, instead of saying don't take it personally, consider providing context, explain the situation clearly. For instance, I'm feeling stressed today and I didn't mean to come off as harsh. Acknowledging feelings, validating the person's emotions. I understand that I said what I said might have hurt you. I'm sorry. Encouraging open dialogue, invite discussion to clarify misunderstandings. Can we talk about what happened? I want to make sure we're okay. I think those are good suggestions because you're using I statements rather than blaming the person. You're saying, okay, this is how I felt. Like, I will often say, I have a bad migraine. If I sound snappy, that's why. If I sound like I'm gonna bite your ear off, it's probably because I have a bad migraine. If I sound edgy, it's probably because of a bad migraine. Or if I don't notice my tone of voice right away, it's probably because of NLD or the bad migraine. Or if I don't notice how I said something right away, it has to do with either of them also. So saying I statements makes it more your problem than their problem. And I think that's usually better. Key take Key takeaways. The phrase don't take it personally can be confusing or hurtful to neurodivergent individuals due to literal language processing and emotional sensitivity. Providing clear context, acknowledging feelings, and encouraging open communication are more effective ways to address misunderstandings. Being mindful of language and its impact can foster better relationships and understanding. I agree with those things because whenever I've had some setbacks with friends and we talk about the setbacks and we work through them, I much prefer that than not talking about them and just ending the friendship because then it's like you don't have that friend anymore and you wonder if you could ever have them again and you wonder what you did wrong. And it's better to have feedback and work through it and be able to grow from it and learn from your mistakes, even if it's difficult. So the first article is titled Stop Asking Neurodivergent People to Change the Way They Communicate by J.D. Gullett. Neurotypical people can do more to close the communication gap. That was from the article. This was written in October of 2022. Quote, understanding neurodivergent perspectives on language, diversity, neurodiversity, and little thinking trap. This article explores how neurodivergent individuals often interpret language literally, leading to misunderstandings with phrases like, don't take it personally. It emphasizes the importance of clear and direct communication. Stop asking neurodivergent people to change the way they communicate. Published by Harvard Business Review, this piece discusses the challenges neurodivergent individuals face when expected to conform to neurotypical communication norms. It advocates for mutual understanding and adaptation in communication styles. So I think that's a good article because it's talking about how to um how neurodivergents react to that kind of phrase and that yes, we can try to change the way we communicate, but it's not easy for us to. I remember asking my dad to try to change the way he communicates, and he really hasn't, and I think that's probably because he's neurodivergent, and that's probably where I get it from. A lot of times he doesn't ask for help, and he doesn't say, "Oh, you're in my way, Jennifer. Can you move?" And if he's clearly said that to me, or if he clearly said, "I need help with this," and he does with technology for me, but he doesn't say it when he's, like, in recovery from a surgery. And it's so frustrating in those cases because it's like, Dad, I wanna help you, but you're not asking for help in a clear way, so I don't know if you need help, you know what I'm talking about? So or he used to always work in construction, and so he's used to using hand signals, and sometimes he would use those with me when we were moving objects. I'm like, "Dad, I don't know what that means. It's nonverbal." And I remember the first time I said that to him, he was like, "Oh, yeah, right. You don't you're not good with nonverbal." I'm like, "Uh-huh." So then he was trying to let me know what the hand signals meant, which was a good thing because then I can learn what they mean. And I'm fine with that. I want to learn. But without that, I wouldn't have been able to learn. So the next article is titled Seven Strategies for Effective Communication in Neurodiverse Teams. This article provides practical tips for fostering clear communication with neurodiverse teams, such as avoiding idiomatic expressions and being explicit about expectations. Tips for neurodiverse social communication from Dr. Sharon Salim She offers insights into how neurodivergent individuals can engage in more enjoyable and effective conversations, emphasizing the value of direct communication and understanding personal preferences. So I think that's also a good article because it's making it personal to that neurodivergent with the communication and with the effective conversation. And it's emphasizing direct communication. I love direct communication. When somebody says something's not working for them and that it's more them than me, I'm okay with that. And that they do it over the phone rather than through text. That's great because then I know I didn't do anything wrong. It's more where they are. I appreciate that because they're being honest and direct about it. And they took the time to say it over the phone or in person is even better, but they didn't do it through text like most, in this case, guys do or women do sometimes also. But that's better when you're trying to end a relationship to do it over the phone rather than over text. Um, so the last articles are by Amy Marshall, published on August of 2023, medically reviewed by Claire Eggleston, I think I said that right, and Ali Idris and Brooke Schitzman. Sorry if I pronounce those last names wrong. Personal experiences and insights. The Neurodivergent Guide to Socializing. The Neurodivergent Guide to Socializing. 5 neurodivergent individuals share their experiences and advice on navigating social interactions, highlighting the importance of recognizing and valuing unique communication styles. Taking things personally, ADHD power tools. In this podcast episode, host discusses tools and strategies for individuals with ADHD to manage sensitivities around taking things personally, offering practical advice for emotional regulation. The phrase "don't take it personally," this is me, is often intended to diffuse tension, suggesting that someone's actions or words are more about them than about you. However, for neurodivergent individuals, such as those with autism or ADHD or NLD, this phrase can be confusing or even hurtful. Many process language literally, so such expressions may seem dismissive or invalidating, especially when the word or actions did feel personal. Additionally, heightened emotional sensitivity can lead to deeply internalizing criticism, linking it to past experiences of exclusion or misunderstanding. Instead of using vague reassurances, it's more effective to provide clear context, acknowledge feelings, and encourage open dialogue. This approach fosters better understanding and communication, better neurodivergent and neurotypical between neurodivergent and neurotypical individuals. So I hope that episode was helpful for you. Sorry, I was a little tongue-tied throughout it. I'm going through some personal things right now with my dog Truffles. I recently found out she has stage 2 kidney failure. So that means that only 25% of her kidneys are functioning. I don't know how much longer she'll be alive. And I was puppy shopping earlier today also. So if you hear me having challenges recording, that's probably why. But I wanted to put that out there and be honest about it. I think that goes with this episode. So, I'll talk to you guys next week. Thanks.
This podcast or episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. I have had 8 years of therapy, so I know it can help change your life if you not only let it, but work on the personal goals that you set with your therapist. Without a healthy mind, being truly happy and at peace is hard. The good news is therapy works. But what is therapy exactly? It's whatever you want it to be. Maybe you're not feeling motivated right now and would like some tools to help. Or maybe you're feeling insecure in relationships or at work, not dealing well with stress.
Whatever you need, it's time to stop being ashamed of normal human struggles and start feeling better because you deserve to be happy. And now you don't have to worry about finding an in person therapist near you to help. BetterHelp is customized online therapy and offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's more affordable than in person therapy, and you can start communicating with your therapist in under 48 hours. Join the millions of people who are seeing what online therapy is really about. It's always a good time to invest in yourself because you are your greatest asset. And special offer to Living with an Invisible Learning Challenge listeners, you get 10% off your first month of professional therapy at betterhelp.com slash that's betterhelp.com/living with invisible learning challenge. Thanks again to BetterHelp for sponsoring this podcast.
I hope that episode was well worth it for you to listen to and that you were able to take something away from it, even if you don't have a learning challenge, or if you do. I hope it was extra worthwhile for you so that you are able to learn something and maybe journal and jot down some few takeaways so that the next time you experience that challenge yourself, you're able to um, learn how to breathe through it more easily, or maybe not have a meltdown or a tantrum, or be able to take away more learning from it and not make the same mistake twice, and be able to also help somebody else go through that experience if you have a friend who has a learning difference and you are neurotypical. So I hope you will be able to have those some experiences in your life now that you have listened to this episode.